Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV here on a Wednesday night showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. down here in the production trailer here at the virtual South Boston Speedway for the Turn4Podcast Winter iRacing Series. I'm not sure what race number we're on, but we're on the Busheys Generator 100. 100 laps on the docket here at South Boston. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. down here in the production trailer. We're pushing buttons. We're yelling at race cars. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of fun this evening. Already got qualifying in the books. We'll take a quick peek here at the starting grid. We'll get that lined up as soon as we push the right button. Here we go. Full-size grid for qualifying. You ask, we shall receive. Kenny Thompson, Aaron Thompson up on the front row. Rodney Huntoon and Skylar Shippey going to roll off row number 2. JD Stockwell, Net 45 machine, going to roll off P5 with Nate Wenzel rounding out the first 6 pack of drivers. They see Joey Frazier going to roll off P7. Sean Beaudreau going to roll off P8. Keegan Tabor and Colton Hull going to round out the top 10. Jackson Davis, Justin Prescott, 11th and 12th. Chris Colburn, Kyle Buck, Colton Martin, Dominic LaFleur, Kyle Kenny, Dylan Zulo, the next 6 drivers, and rounding out the field, 24 on the evening here tonight. The big boss man, DJ Girard, the 13 car, going to roll off P19. Evan Burke back here in 20th. Eric Lurendu, Colin Penn, Garrett Benson, and Jimmy DeCourcy going to round out the field here. 24 drivers on tap, 100 laps on the docket. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. Again, you're tuned in to VidaneTV's coverage of the Turn4Podcast Winter iRacing Series. Been going at it all winter long here, and it is, I'm not sure where you guys are watching from here tonight, but here in southern New England, out by the casinos and the swamps, it is, the weather's kind of squirrely. Green flag flies here for the first time this evening. Definitely get in touch with Busheys Generators. If you end up losing power, they'll be able to hook you up and get you back on the airwaves, as it were, side by side as they run down the backstretch. How about that paint scheme for Aaron Thompson up on the high side? He busted out the Christmas paper. He's got Buddy the Elf there on the quarter panel, and he is doing some Christmas movies. There you see the what's his face there from Home Alone on the front of the car. Heck of a paint scheme there for the number 19 car. There's Skylar Shippey in the 51. He's won a handful of races this season. He's won a handful of seasons. Won a whole handful of races with a busted up hand. He came into victory lane a couple of weeks ago and made mention that he busted his hand up, and it's been in a cast, and it doesn't seem like it's hurting him too bad. Quick time there with the 16.581, I believe it was, and putting on a hurting here in the 51 car. Moved his way on up to the second position, and everybody in behind getting kind of single file here. 16.564 there for Kenny Thompson up in the lead, and that 39 car showing that fresh air means just about everything. As you can see, not able to quite pull away just yet, but as you can see, Skylar Shippey trading that fast time back once again. He's going to try and take that. A couple of drivers pointed in the wrong direction. It looks like further on back we stay green. Everybody else seems to check out. They're a little squirrely there back outside the top 10, but for the most part, everybody rocking and rolling throughout the field. Little side-by-side action there just outside the top 10. There's the 04 of Prescott. He's holding on to the 8th position. Another great paint scheme there for the 1 car. Sean Beaudreau having a solid run just in 9th. There's a little bump there from the 74 car. He wants to try and take that spot. He's gonna take that spot. He's gonna go down on the bottom side and shoot on down into turn number 1, see what he can do there. He's got Kyle Buck in behind, the 43 car. Jackson Davis there as well. It's right on board with a lap here with the number 43 machine. See what all it's about here in these street stocks. And you can see less than 5,000 RPMs as a caution flag flies here for the first time tonight. And it appears that we've got some calamity there on the front straightaways. It looks like they had some sheet metal up in there. So we'll back up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay, and it does indeed look like it's the 95's bumper. Lots of paint schemes, lots of different paint schemes throughout the field here this evening. But we'll back that up. We'll take a peek at it from the blimp, and there you see the 95 was the car involved. He's up on the high side. Everything looking a-okay. Gets a little bit squirrely right inside a racing groove and up into the outside wall. There you see that bumper cover coming right off. Great heads-up driving by the rest of the field to be able to get on through that. But that's going to bring out the first caution flag here with 91 laps to go. But still on top of the iRacing pace car. 10 laps into this one, 11 laps as we cross the stripe, lined up 2 by 2. These guys already want to get rocking and rolling here in this one. 23 drivers still on the lead lap. Looks like Race Control taking one of the spots there, getting last place points for that one. Kenny Thompson up front. Skylar Shipping going to restart on the outside. Aaron Thompson, Rodney Huntoon, JD Stockwell, the top 5 as they run. And you can see there's a lot of chrome, a lot of Christmas paper throughout the field here. Always cool to see these guys putting together these special paint schemes here for us, especially as we get into the holiday season. And it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Lots of cool stuff going on here to close out the end of the 2024 calendar year and kick things off with a big bada bang for 2025. Lots of cool stuff on the go here for VidaneTV in the sim racing world as well as the real racing world. So be sure to tune in to all of our socials for all that. The pace truck going to dip down to the safety of pit road 1 Mogan. Green flag flies, double heading on down into turn number 1. Thompson in the 39 car all the way down to the inside wall there at the exit of pit road. Didn't quite scrape that wall, but you can see gets right down to it. Kind of utilizing that apron. We saw that a little bit last night in the RBR race at Irwindale Speedway. Drivers just getting all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to use that flat part of the track to kind of upset the car just a little bit and get it to turn a little bit more. And you can see the 39 doing a great job sticking the tires right on that yellow line to try and get it to get around. That 51 car of Shippy, though, doing a fab job up on the high side. The 51 making the magic happen in that middle groove. And you can see Aaron Thompson in behind that 19 car. Buddy the Elf, not quite on the quarter panel. He's up in front of the number there. Lots of, there's Rudolph on the right-hand side. Awesome paint scheme. I got to give Aaron Thompson props. Very, very cool to see that. There's the 45 of Stockwell. Huntoon up in the mix as well there on the bottom side. There's the 03 car of Nate Wenzel holding on to it. He's having a solid run just outside the top 5, running in 6th right now once he gets around that 12 car and completes that pass. That 12 car is Rodney Huntoon. Justin Prescott up in the mix, just barely off the screen there. You'll be able to see that 5 car of Kyle Buck slide back just a little bit because the 37 wants to take a peek at him. It's Joey Frazier having a solid run in the second half of the top 10. A little bit of a gaggle cars there. The good-looking one paint scheme there. I believe that's Frosty up there on the hood for the Sean Beaudrew machine. It's 74 on the high side. Having a solid run. Keegan Tabor up there. Jackson Davis, Dominic LaFleur in the mix as well. So these guys have been minding their P's and Q's. Been relatively clean all race long. There's a 57 car. Kyle Kenny, Evan Burke back here as well. Guys having a solid run just on the outside here of the top 10, trying to move themselves up through the field. And we were kind of paying attention here in final practices. We've got a swap for the lead, Shippy to the point in that 51 car. These guys were very smooth here in practice. They were able to go through and kind of practice some pit stops, practice some of these green flag conditions and some of these long green flag run conditions here as well, because you never know what your car's going to do when you're 20 laps in. And here we are 21 laps in. We've only had the one quick caution for a couple of cars pointed in the wrong direction. First side-by-side battle actually back here at 11. The one car holding on to the spot right in front of these drivers. We're side-by-side with the 43 and the 74. But the caution flag gonna fly, and it actually looks like it's already cleaned up. But we are going to call the caution here for Colton Hull in the 59 car. We'll see if we can back up the tapes, see if we can find out exactly what went down here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay, and we'll get that blimp cam up so we can see exactly what went down. Focus in on that 59 car. He was the car that was pointed in the wrong direction when we saw that live shot there, and you can see coming off turn 4, just kind of spun the tires, lost the back end of the race car, pointed it down on the inside of the racetrack, and sent it on around. And I don't think that's going to be the last time we see that. Not necessarily from the 59 driver. They see missing a lot of the virtual sheet metal there up on the front of the car. But I don't think that's going to be the last time we see that. As these cars get down into the later parts of the races, it's really difficult. There's not really much to change as far as the handling on these street stocks. So one of the things that does affect the handling, though, in a big way is when we burn off the fuel and it lifts the back end of the race car up because there's less fuel in it, so it's less heavy, and it's going to lift the back end of the race car. And after 25 laps, it's going to change the way the race car drives in a big, big way. So Might be something we keep an eye on throughout the rest of the night. We're all going to be chasing that 51 car, though, of Skylar Shippey. Won a handful of races so far here this season. I believe is up definitely in the top 3 in points. I didn't get a chance. I wrote the points down, forgot to bring them in with me. They're still out in the truck, I think. But points battle definitely tight, getting in to the end of this one. And we made mention last night during the RBR Maritime Season Ocho race that there's going to come a point in time coming up here in the next months where we're going to be crowning not 1, not 2, but 3 champions in 1 week here on VidaneTV. So definitely check that out. Going to be something special and going to be something we kind of send everybody off back into the real racing world, because we've got some real racing stuff in a big way here in 2025. Side by side throughout the field. Everybody's still trying to chase down that 51 car of Shippey, pulling away 2-3 car lengths now over Kenny Thompson. Aaron Thompson still holding on to third. Car off the pace. I believe that's Evan Burke in the 08 car, currently being scored 1 lap down. You can see the front 2 have kind of gotten it sorted out. The 19 car down on the bottom side. Caution flag, though, going to fly for, I believe, the 43 car. There he is indeed, of Jackson Davis. We'll back up the tapes, and there you see the 41 up into the 1 car. They get it all kind of almost sorted out, but the 1 comes back into the 43 car, pointed that way. You can see waits for the field to get by, grabs the gear, gets spun on around. Jackson Davis able to rejoin the tail end of the field, but that in itself is a tough part, because as we look, it appears still 22 drivers on the lead lap. The only driver being scored 1 lap down going to be the 08 car of Evan Burke, potentially maybe the 43 car. We'll see how much work needs to get done on the virtual sheet metal there. You saw a shot of the 95 car, still has some big damage on the front of that car. A couple of damaged race cars towards the back of the pack. There's that 59 of Colton Hull we made mention there. The 77 of Garrett Benson back here. DJ Gerard back in 17th here as well. So handful, handful of drivers rocking a little bit of the damage here. 31 laps into this one, 69 laps to go in the Busheys generator, 100. Take one more parade lap around the racetrack here. The virtual South Boston, the host of this evening's race. 100 laps on the docket, 32 of them already gone, 68 laps to go. I'm going to get that restart with about 67, maybe 66 laps to go here in this one. Got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. VidaneTV's coverage of the Turn4Podcast Winter iRacing Series. Not done racing tonight after for this week. Tomorrow night, the NAP Series is back on the airwaves at the Motor Mile. That's going to be a lot of fun, or the Milwaukee Mile, one of the 1 mile racetracks. We'll get that sorted out. Green flag flies once again. Thompson up on the high side, and Shippey down on the bottom side. Everybody gets rolling through 1 and 2. The 19 car drops back just a little bit, but was that by design? As you can see, hard on the attack for that P2 spot, trying to get down underneath that 39 car of Thompson. Thompson and Thompson, the second row, and they're trying to put on a show here. They are putting on a show here at VidaneTV. There's the 03 car of Nate Wenzel trying to slip on in and follow in down on the bottom side. The 04 car of Justin Prescott there as well, but the caution flag going to fly, and it appears we've got ourselves a handful of cars wrecked in the back of the field. We'll take a peek at it. Oh, once again, U-House Racing Designs instant replay. We'll back that up. There's the 43 car, a little bit squirrely. Everybody checking up here. You see the 5 car of Buck pointed in the wrong direction already, and a handful of drivers coming on in to just kind of fist bump gently with the race car, make sure their buddy in the 5 car is okay. We'll back that up. They were 4 wide at one point there, and this is the second half of the top 10. We were just following along there with that Thompson and Thompson battle, the 03s. So this is just a few cars back. 5 car comes in, gets a bump, gets a little loose, gets a bump from the 74. 74 gets a bump from the 3, and then they all try to. The 57 sees a hole, he goes for it, and then everybody goes for the same piece of real estate at once. And well, you see what happens when everybody goes for the same piece of real estate. You get parking issues. So Kyle Buck in the outside wall, 59.95 there involved as well. Colton Holt, Chris Holborn, not having the night they wanted to here at the virtual South Boston. They got some work to do to try and get themselves a decent finish. There's Kyle Buck currently being scored in the 18th spot after that little bit of an incident. Up front, though, still chasing Shippy in that 51 car, broken hand and all, and putting on a show here for us at VidaneTV. Be sure to give us the like, the subscribe, the share, the follow, all that good stuff that you do on the social medias. It helps us out a whole bunch. We're over 2,000 followers over on the Facebook. We've got almost 800 likes on the YouTube. And the YouTube's the money. That's where we've got all the races on demand. You can check out all 585 plus some odd races that we've done here over the past 4 or 5 years with VidaneTV. Crazy to think that we're going to be heading into year number 5 next year with 2025. And we made mention, got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Real racing, sim racing, and both kind of combined. So we're going to bridge that gap and continue to bridge that gap between the real world and the sim racing world. Green flag flying once again. Great shot there from the 51 of Shippy. He's able to pull away by a car length or so. But that 19 car of Aaron Thompson going to come back out. We saw the 51 car blink. There he is. That is not good. The 51 car having some connection issues, and you can see it's affecting the rest of the drivers. They have to essentially guess where that 51 car is going to reappear. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to get sorted out. You can see everybody giving the 51 car a little bit of room. Nate Wenzel going to slide into the second spot in the 03 car. The 04 of Justin Prescott going to slide into the mix as well. He's up into the top 3. They're still 2x2 in behind the rest of the field. Racing Designs instant replay blimp, the 5 car. Oh man, Kyle Buck just gets loose, and unfortunately nowhere for the 59 car. There's the 95 car getting a piece of the action as well. As the Colton and Chris are having a rough night in those 2 cars. That is a tough break. Wrong place, wrong time, it appears, for those drivers. They're going to rejoin the field. They see the 59 car. Going to come down to the attention of the pit crew, see if they can work on that machine a little bit. There you see the 95 is back there in the background. The 5 of Kyle Buck getting some service done on his machine as well. That's going to drop us down to 17 cars on the lead lap. And they're all chasing this guy right here, Skylar Shippey in the 51 car, holding on to the lead, able to drive away to about 3/4 of a second of a lead there under that last run. And we know there's a lot of Shippey fans out in the internets, out in the airwaves. Let us know pardon me, where we're watching from, who you're pulling for, and join the conversation using hashtag VidaneTV, live and interactive all over the interwebs. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. I think we're even over on Twitter as well. So live all over the place, trying to take over, as it were, here in the iRacing world, in the internet world as well. Great to have you here with us on a Wednesday night. And as I finally pull up the Facebook chat, here we go. We got all sorts of folks over here watching along here with us this evening tonight. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Spending your Wednesday night here with us. The lights are going to go off in the iRacing pace truck. We're lined up 2x2. We're getting ready to do battle once again here at virtual South Boston. For the Busheys Generator 100, the power just flickered as I said that. It is windy as heck here in southern Connecticut, southeastern Connecticut, as it were. So A little bit of a storm brewing, and we got a little bit of a storm brewing here on the screen. The 51 car is Shippy down on the bottom side. Nate Wenzel up on the top. That pace truck going to dip on down little safety of pit road one mo again, and we're going to turn them loose with 52 laps to go. Side by side, beating and banging for the lead. The 03 car takes a peek down low, but the caution flag comes out before he's able to complete the pass. It's going to put us right at the halfway marker, and we'll see if we can back up the tapes and find out what went down to pull that caution flag out once again. And as we take a peek here at the U-House Racing Design, they said the 27 car pointed in the wrong direction. We'll see if we can back up the tapes and find out what that was. A 37 car of Joey Frazier. Unfortunate event there, as there's some Joey fans out in the stands. We'll back that up just a little bit, because it looked like it. They see on the outside there, the 45 car, JD Stockwell. There's a bump up in front to the 12. 45 of Stockwell had to check up a little bit, and the 37 did as well. Everybody able to slide on through, it looks like, with minimal contact. And a great job there by Joey to rejoin the field. I don't think there's much damage on that 37 machine, and notice there's not many sponsor logos out there as well, so we should probably reach out to Joey Frazier on the old social medias and see if we can't get him hooked up with some sponsors on that 37 car. But everything looking a-okay. Going to come down to the attention of the pit crew, and going to slap some right side tires on it. That's going to be something to watch here in the final half of this one, just past the halfway marker. Joey Frazier, did he beat the pace truck? Is he going to be able to stay on the lead lap? He's going to keep going down and around, so it looks like he did. And that's going to be interesting, because he's going to be the only driver on the lead lap with two right side tires. So keep an eye on that 37 car. That spin might have saved the race, and we'll see just how much quicker he runs on those two tires. Meanwhile, back up front, still going to be Shippy, still going to be Wenzel on the front row. Thompson, Prescott, Thompson, the top five. Rodney Huntoon, JD Stockwell, Dominic LaFleur, Kyle Kenny, and Colton Martin, the top 10 as they run. 19 cars still on the lead lap. Colton Hall, the 59 car, the final, actually appears to be multiple laps down. The 37 car of Joey Frazier going to be the last car on the lead lap, putting 16 drivers in behind that leader, the number 51 car. They're going to come out of turn number 4, take the green flag, racing once again, almost 3 wide already. How about it? 3 wide for a second. The 04 car thinking about it, not quite going to make it happen. He's going to tuck into the tire tracks of the 03 car of Nate Wenzel for the time being. That's not to say that he's not going to be able to get back in. Oh, big slide there from Prescott, and the 04 car slides back 2, 3, almost 4 spots. Everybody checking up down on the bottom side of the racetrack as well. 45 laps to go. They're side by side in behind there as well. The 57 car of Kyle Kenny all the way up on the high side. Colton Martin in the 4 trying to make a little magic happen there, and that I believe that's in the pardon me, I believe that is an old Kevin Harvick paint scheme, if I'm not mistaken, on that number 4 car. Side by side battle up in front of him, and a side by side battle still raging on up in front of him. They're side by side back here. I think the 43 of Jackson Davis and Keegan Tabor there in a 74, they've been side by side almost all night long, putting on a heck of a show here just outside the top 10. The 46 Eric Lerndu there in behind as well. Got a great shot of this. This is the boss man there in the 13, the lone Ford car. Oh, a little bit of calamity up out in front of the windshield, and a little bit of a distraction as we jump on board with DJ Gerard. I think we scared him a little bit here with 42 laps to go. We hopped on in to the, oh no, there goes the 43 car. I think we scared everybody hopping into we got to stop jumping into the cockpits like that without warning these guys. I think it gave him a little bit of a jump. We saw the 43 get spun, but no caution. He gathers it back up, and he's going back at it. So that is a tough break for the 43 car, still side by side here just outside the second half of the top 10. We check back in with our leader, the 51 car of Skylar Shippey, has about 4/10, almost a half second now, over Aaron Thompson there in second. Nate Wenzel in the 03 car, and the 39 car rather of Kenny Thompson. Those guys are all lined up single file. The 04 car there as well. Pretty much the front 6 cars, little single file action. It looks like the first kind of side-by-side battle we had there was between the 3 and the 57 here for 9th and 10. Dominic and Kyle Kenny going after it a little bit. They get it all sorted out. There is a 3 car that has seen some better days on the left-hand side. Lots of crinkled up sheet metal on that one. That car is pristine, though. Very, very good looking car there for the 51. Not too much damage there for he. A little bit of damage. The wrapping paper is definitely crinkled on the 19 car, but it doesn't appear to be slowing him down too much. Nate Wenzel still holding on to that 3rd position as we ride through 3 and 4. Whoa, a little bit of a wiggle there for Thompson in the 19 car. I would say he's just trying to heat it up a little bit. Trying to put a little bit of heat in the tires and see if he can pick up some grip in that 19 car. Little onboard action here with the 3rd place driver, the 03 of Nate Wenzel. You can see those bright white gloves. We like when the drivers do that in the real racing world and in the sim racing world, because you can really see just how hard these drivers work. You look at these guys from the outside of the car and you think, they're not working that hard. This shot right here, and when you can look down in through the windshield and see just how back and forth these drivers are with these bright gloves, it really kind of shows how much work they're putting into it, how much wheel they're putting into it as well. You saw in that shot, though, we are going to be coming up on some lap traffic in a moment's time. A couple of laps here if we stay green, and we did see these guys have a long green flag run, so they definitely have the capability of it. And you can see the front 3-4 drivers pretty much single file throughout this one. They're just kind of logging laps at this point. The 04 car, Justin Prescott, he's got a little breathing room in front of and in behind JD Stockwell. Hold on to it. Holy moly, the 12 car wanted to go. Rodney Huntoon said the 45 car was holding him up a little bit, and he booted that screen door in down to the bottom side. He's going to bring the 4 car down in there as well. Colton Martin saw that door opened up and said, sorry, JD, I'm going to come down here as well. The 3 car up into the 45. Once again, JD Stockwell holds it, saves it, loses a bumper cover. We stay green. How about it? JD Stockwell still trying to collect that car. The Massachusetts Missile almost lost a couple of the fins there. The 45 of Stockwell having a great run up in the top 10 and found some unfortunate circumstances and really kind of showed why he's running here with us on Wednesday nights. Big heads-up driving from the 45 car, gets that car pointed up in the wrong direction, or the right direction, rather, and we stay clean and green. A little bit of calamity up in the front, a lot of calamity up in the front. The leaders are wrecked. The 03 car, Nate Wenzel, was smoked, still smoked there on the front straightaway. We back up. The U-House Racing Designs instant replay. The 03 gets up into the Thompson machine. That was a big hit for Thompson. We're going to back that up one more again, and I want to take a peek here from the old cockpit view as we get into it. This is on board with 3rd place, Nate Wenzel. Let's see here, everything looks good. Gets into the quarter panel and just really nowhere to go for either of those drivers. And you can see once the 19 made contact with those tire barriers, really jacks up the rest of the car. That's a tough break. Those were some quick cars up in the top 10. The wrapping paper indeed crinkled on the 19 car of Thompson. And we'll take a look at it one more time in real time. Just gets into the corner panel and just doesn't seem to want to come back out of it. There you see the 39 getting a piece of it as well. So caution flag flies here with 25 laps to go. And it looks like the 03 might be taking the tap on that one, potentially sending Nate Wenzel to the back of the pack as a penalty for being involved for the cause of that caution. So going to be an uphill battle for the 03 car here at this point. Skylar Shippey came down pit road and got tires. That's going to be interesting to watch. That's going to put Shippy back in 10th place with 4 fresh tires in that 51 car up towards the front. Justin Prescott's going to inherit the lead in the 04 car. The 12 of Rodney Huntoon is there. Colton Martin in the 4 going to be there in the 3rd spot. The 3 of Dominic LaFleur up there. Kyle Kenny, Eric Lurendu, DJ Girard, Jimmy DeCourcy, Jackson Davis, and then Skylar Shippey, the top 10. This is going to be interesting with 23 laps to go. And you can see Justin Prescott gained 11 positions here. DJ Girard up 11 spots as well as we watch the ticker crawl across the screen on the high side. Justin Prescott utilizing that clean air, trying to get a little magic to happen. Here comes those fresh tires. 75 lap fresher tires in the 51. You can see he's just moving people at this point. He's on the outside. Great looking Mustang there for the 13 car. The boss man car looks good and white. Oh, big slide for DJ Girard. Holds on to it. Great driving there by the 13. He's going to come up and say hello to Aaron Thompson. They're up into the outside wall, and the camera didn't want to change for some reason, but there you see Aaron Thompson going to drop back a handful of positions in that 19 car once again. They're 2-3 wide back here for the second half of the top 10, beating and banging. It's right here, folks. That's why we love street stocks. These street stock drivers, these street stocks themselves, they can take the abuse. They know they're here to put on a show. Aaron Thompson up in the back bumper of the 43 car. Both of those cars have indeed seen better days, but they are putting on a show here for us. Skylar Shippey, he drove away from this mess all the way back up here in the 5th spot. He's going to take a look down the bottom side of that 3 car of Dominic, and he's going to probably drive right on through him here once he gets out of the corner. A little bit of a wiggle, but he holds on to it. Getting on down, setting his sights now on that 4 car of Colton Martin with 18 laps to go and the leader's in sight. I think Shippey might have made the race-winning move and came down pit road there under that last caution, because in 10 laps he's driven from 10th place all the way up to 4th, and he's got the triple threat battle there in front of him for that lead. Justin Prescott holding on to it. Rodney Huntoon there in second, but Skylar Shippey holding on to the 4th spot. Check that. Move that 51 to P3. Skylar Shippey's coming with 16 laps to go. Casey Prescott holding on to the lead. He's going to get a bump again from the 12th car. He's going to get moved. Skylar Shippey's going to get a piece of the action as well. That's going to bring the caution flag out, and that's going to give the lead, I believe, to the 51 car. Interesting dynamics. We'll take a peek at it here once again from the blimp, the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. You see the 12 gets in there. The 04 gets loose. The 12 gets more in there. But in the 12, or the 51 rather, is Shippey just kind of says, excuse me, thank you. I'll take that spot down here on the bottom of the racetrack, and almost got clipped by the 04 car. The 4 of Colton Martin going to slide in to that second spot there as well. So Skylar Shippey, fresh tires up front, 13 laps into this run, and he's back up to the lead. No. Skylar Shippey's got some cool nicknames. He can't take the one-arm bandit, though. That's Paul Verricchio Jr. and the 39 late model over at Stafford Speedway. You can't go taking Paulie's nickname like that. That's not fair. Cool piece that Stafford Speedway put together on, I say, our late model driver. I've been working with the Renner Race Car crew at the Stafford Speedway a decade and a half now at this point. It's been a long time hanging out with those guys, and it was cool to see them put together that piece. Paulie Verricchio finished second in the points in the late model division in that 39 car, and I've known him for 15 years. I never knew he's always raced one-handed, and it's wild. They asked him, hey, why do you race one-handed? It's, well, with a 22-inch wheel, I can't do that because I'm a big guy, and it kind of cuts into my gut. So he has to run this little 14-inch wheel. And with the 14-inch wheel, being a big guy, to have both hands on it, you got to kind of, I'm doing the motion like you guys can see me here, but you put your hands together, and it's hard to move, it's uncomfortable, so he uses that left hand to kind of hold onto the steering wheel, and then the right one's just off on the bumper bar, or whatever those bars are called, over on the right-hand side. But It's pretty cool little story that Stafford put together. No hard feelings, Jeff. Just back and forth with Jeffrey Pryke over in the chat. Peter Frazier over there as well. Heath the Butts looking for a good run from Joey, and Skylar Shippey over there as well. And Skylar Shippey's over in the chat as well. He's over there watching from the lead. How cool is that? Green flag flies once again, and there you go. Shippey doing what he does best down the bottom side. Going to get a restart, a great restart in front of that 4 car. Going to slide on up into that P1 spot. They're going to get single file, it looks like, for the front 3, almost 4 cars. The 3 car, or that 19 car. That wrapping paper's coming, and he's sending that 46 car down and around. They sorted it back out. Do you call that sorted out? I think you do. They got it all. They used each other to straighten each other out. Now, there's the caution flag. That's going to bring it out. As that's the 5, it looks like, of Buck pointed in the wrong direction. So calamity ensues with less than 10 laps to go. There's Kyle Buck off the pace in the 5 car as the 46 appeared to be off the pace. This is one of those wrecks you got to back up because I feel like it happened for like 3 laps. But in any sense, see what this looks like here. Nothing. So we'll take a peek. There you see some calamity. They get it almost kind of sort of sorted out. Keep an eye on the 5 car once again there on the right left-hand side of your screen because he was pointed in the wrong direction. These guys putting on a heck of a show, man. There's nowhere really to go in these street stocks. The 5 backs up and unfortunately nowhere to go for the drivers in behind. So it looks like they were checking up for that 46 car potentially. But there you see the 12 car going to call it a night. Rodney Huntoon down on pit road, and up front, still Skylar Shippey holding on to it. He came down pit road under caution about 20 laps ago, got 4 tires on that car. A couple of other drivers came down last caution there. Nate Wenzel, Justin Prescott. Well, they had some big-time damage, so they had to come down. DJ Girard in that white number 13 car, he's going to come down pit road, it looks like, get some service on that thing. That car does look good in white. A very good-looking Mustang there. I believe still the only Mustang in the field here on Wednesday nights. Got to give a little bit of love there for the boss man. Looks like he's going to lose a lap as the pace car gets down and around with the field, and going to line them up 2 by 2. Lights off the iRacing pace truck. Going to get that restart with less than 5 laps to go. We've already gotten the high five from Bubbles up in the flag stand, and folks, we got to let you know you don't have to be lonely at flaggersonly.com. Pace truck going to head on down to the safety of pit road for what could be the final time. We're lined up 2 by 2. Shippey down on the bottom side. Martin up on the high side. JD Stockwell, Dominic LaFleur, Nate Wenzel, the top 5. Restart, 4 laps to go here at the virtual South Boston. This is going to get good. Side by side as they head on down to the corners. They bump, they grind just a little bit. They drive on away. 51 making those tires work for him. Colton Martin going to dive down into the bottom. 3 wide in behind. Are they going to be able to hold on to it? Just barely. The 57 all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The 3 car having some issues. The 19 of Aaron trying to drive back in to the top 5. He's going to take that 4th position, and we have ourselves a caution. The 74 car is just throwing sheet metal. Here comes a bumper cover right towards our camera. That's a big, massive hit, it looks like, and it looks like we're going to have to back those tapes up just a little more because they were already wrecking in that one. There you can see just 3 wide, 2 wide throughout the field, and a lot of heads-up driving, but when you get a handful of saves like that, you run out of racetrack. There's almost, I don't want to say you run out of talent because these guys have talents for days, but you run out of racetracks, you run out of reactions, and unfortunately that's what happens to it. The 59 getting a piece of it, the 74, the 43, the 57. Look at all the bumper covers flying down pit road. There's one doing some flips. Lots of carnage. But 74, the 59 able to drive on away. Good news there. They're going to rejoin the field. They're probably going to come down pit road and get some of that damage taken care of. And there you see it. Leader is Shippey. Going to get ourselves a green-white checkered action and see what goes down. Shippey's been a monster on restarts here on Wednesday nights, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. Once again, got to thank everybody for tuning in here. Wednesday nights are the homes here for the Turn4 Podcast Winter iRacing season. Just a couple of races left here with these guys, as well as the RBR Maritime Group They're going to be wrapping their championship up next Tuesday night, and we're going to be hanging out with Tim Terry. Tim's Corner Motorsports having their annual Christmas party next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Atlantic. I'll be there for more than likely the first 45 minutes or so. Then we've got to jump off the airwaves, hop on the virtual jet, and get on out to the final race for the RBR Maritime Group next Tuesday night. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We may mention the NEP Super Truck Series back with us tomorrow night. The Fast One Late Model Group there with us Monday night. Lots of racing all over the place here at VidaneTV. And oh, by the way, we got more racing here to go. Green flag flies, popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go unless we get another caution side by side for the lead. Shippy down on the bottom side. Colton Martin up into the high side, up into the outside wall. The 51 took a shot just a little bit. The 45 car at JD Stockwell going to send it. Aaron Thompson in the 19 car. He moves into the third place position. 3 wide for fourth. White flag, white rag, 1 lap to go. Virtual South Boston 04 car. Justin Prescott slides into the 4th spot. Back up front though. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Big slide out of the 51. Checkers. Skylar Shippey gonna drift on down into victory lane in that number 51 car. Colton Martin, great running in 4th. Aaron Thompson gonna round out the top 5. What a battle, what a show, what a race for these drivers here on Monday night. The 51 car still drifting it around this racetrack. We're gonna talk to these top 5 drivers, or top 3 drivers rather, here momentarily as we watch the 51 car burn them down here at the virtual South Boston. We got the drivers lined up there on the front straightaway. We'll get them to take the safety gear off as we watch the 51 car burn them down, and we can see that from the 19 car. We'll go run over and catch up with our third place finisher here. Hey, buddy, the Elf, what's your favorite color?
I don't know. I just felt like doing something different this week, something Christmas themed for this week and next week. So I don't know.
I kind of dig it, man. It's one of the cooler Christmas paint schemes. It looks like a roll of wrapping paper just kind of got wrapped around that 19 car. But it drove like a present tonight, it looked like. Down through the field, got into some calamity, and ended up on the podium. Talk to us. What was the race like?
Yeah, I don't know. Before we had that caution late in the race, I was a little better than Skylar, but I was just trying to kind of ride around and bide my time before I tried to pass him, and I'm not really sure what Nate was doing. I haven't looked at it yet, but I felt like he was being too aggressive, and then he just got into my right rear and sent me around. I don't know.
Yeah, lots of aggression throughout the field from the start all the way through to the end of it here tonight, but came home on the podium. Got to give you an opportunity. Who helps you get to and from the racetrack? Who's out there watching?
Yeah, Heat Race Heroes, Skylar, Keegan, my brother, JD, all those guys, and then all the people watching, my mom, my sister Leanne, my sister Kim, my brother. Congrats to Colton and Skylar. It was a good race there at the end. It would have been better if I didn't get caught up in so much, but
coming home third, had a little bit more in the tank for Aaron Thompson. We'll slide a little bit further, a little bit closer to victory lane, I guess. We're going to slide up to our second place finisher, Colton Martin in the 4 car. Colton, great run here tonight. That 4 car, I don't think you left the top 5 all night long. Talk to us. Great race.
We started a little bit out back. I think we started 15th, and then with the EOL, I think I ended up 22nd at one point. But all in all, it was a good race. I'd like to thank Advanced Gas Distributors, Brody Ledoux, State Farm, 603, Metalworks and Collision, RPM, Turn4 Designs. Trying to think if I have any more. Andreas Anymore, Photography. Just getting sick and tired of the same people causing wrecks every week, and then just thinking it's okay and do what they want, count each other down. The restarts kind of getting old.
Yeah, it's tough with short track racing, especially in the virtual world, to try and take care of all that. But all in all, solid run here tonight. Entertaining race to watch back on VidaneTV, and we'll give you the microphone, give you the opportunity to thank anybody that's out there watching. Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, all my sponsors, like I listed before, mom, dad, my little sister, and I think that's about it.
Colton Martin going to finish here in second with that 4 car, and we're going to slide on over to victory lane, catch up with our multiple-time winner here, Skylar Shippey. Skylar, you're going to end up having to get some fake casts made up just so we can have some of the fans out there sign them, because you're doing pretty good with that busted up hand.
Yeah, we're doing our best. It's been got the win at Myrtle Beach, and then last week we had issues with the wheel, so I guess my Moza decided to make the championship a little interesting this year, but we're still moving along.
Tight on into the points battle as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. What else do you need to kind of cap this thing off at the end of the season, other than more wins?
Just keep on doing what we're doing. Other than when my wheel broke, we haven't finished worse than second all year, so we're just going to keep on keeping on and keep trying to get it done.
Putting in that work there in the virtual 51 camp. Got to give you the opportunity. Who's out there watching? Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Salam Meraki, Northeast Home Restorations, UNOH, Perkins, and anybody out there watching.
Coming home with another dub here on Wednesday nights with the Turn4 Podcast Winter iRacing Series. The Busheys Generator 104 as we had ourselves a little bit of overtime here tonight. Lightning Chassis on board here for the Series Championship as well. These guys putting on a heck of a show, and still just a handful of races left to go in the rest of the season. We'll take one more look here at the final results. There's Skylar Shippey, Colton Martin, Aaron Thompson on the podium. Justin Prescott, Nate Wenzel going to round out the top 5. J.D. Stockwell, big slide for him in the 45 car, rounds out the 6th place. Dominic Lafleur going to finish in 7th. DJ Gerard going to come home 8th. Eric Larendu and Jimmy DeCourcy going to finish in the top 10. We boop that page, turn it on over, and you can see a handful of drivers finding some late race incidences here throughout this one. 24 starting and not quite as many finishing up here. But great race here from the virtual South Boston. We're going to cash things out and head on down the road. We made mention we've got the VidaneTV coverage of the NEP Super Truck Series tomorrow night from the Milwaukee Mile. Heading on out to virtual Wisconsin. This guy's going to get some Culvers because, man, I love Culvers. And I think it's from out there as well. Live all over the internet. We're live on Twitch, internet. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Be sure to give us the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all that good stuff as we are trying to take over the internet. And we always will be here at VidaneTV. We'll catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we will be doing it live.